And we are live with Danielle and my lovely sister, Nicole. And I have two Tennessee folks in the house today. And I am excited to have that. How is the weather out there, guys?
Rainy. Yuck.
Yeah. Rainy for us too.
It's 97 degrees out today.
Well, it was pretty warm. It was like, I don't know, 73, I think, but just rain.
I would love rain.
66 for us, and I was stoked. I don't want it to get hot.
Yeah, I bet. Does it get hot and muggy in Tennessee?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We're in the South.
Yeah. So today we have a ton of people already in house. So thank you guys for coming in. I saw Tyson in there earlier. I saw Billy Rogers in there. Just Randy. Thank you guys for coming on in. So you know what? So I'll be honest with you. I didn't have I've talked to Danielle for a while. I want to hear what has been going on since we last talked. And I think some of the coolness is around some of the different products that you've recently released that is not so much beard related. Now, the butter, I think we can talk about that, of course. But also I want to hear about some of the stuff for the ladies that you've been dishing out, some of the fun stuff.
Yeah.
I kind of put a hold on bath bombs right now. But okay. I do have sugar scrubs and salt scrubs. Unfortunately, I only had a handful of them made simply because I was waiting for my shipment of supplies to come in, which got delayed because of this COVID stuff. So I just actually got one of my 2 shipments in today, so I can go ahead and start making some more of those, which I'm excited about.
That is exciting. So tell us what's in those. Those things are so fun, and I think that they have that explosion thing in the bath, right? Where they just like fill the bath with color and smells, and is that the same thing?
No. Very close though, Andy. Very close.
I'm like, it doesn't do this thing where it explodes in your bath.
It probably does something amazing.
It goes in your bath.
That is so funny.
Okay, so explain what it is and why it's why women would just die for this thing.
Oh my God, if I could stop laughing, I will. Okay. Oh my God, my cheeks hurt. Okay. In my sugar scrub, I use brown sugar. I use coconut oil. I will start using other oils once I decide the oils that are good for the skin and what exactly they do and everything. But I've been mostly using coconut oil, and right now I have 2 scents. It's amber vanilla and black cherry merlot, which, oh my God, that one smells really good. Actually, I had to take one of the containers and use it for myself.
That's the best part, right?
Yeah.
I think I need to do this for some research. And so in no way does this explode in the bathtub, and it's a sugar scrub.
Yeah, no.
So what is a sugar scrub good for?
Yeah.
Those are bath bombs. Is that the thing? Those are the things?
Yeah.
So what do you do with a sugar? So what do you do with a sugar scrub?
It's just like a body scrub. Usually I use it before I actually lather my body. It just helps exfoliate the skin, get rid of the dead skin. I use it simply because I have like really dry skin, and it has helped a lot with that.
especially going into the summer months. I'm sure that helps out.
Yeah.
So so let me tell you my experience with something I think is a sugar scrub. Is that's this thing that they do when you get a pedicure that I had to go to with my wife once, and they rub it on your legs, and it kind of makes it like it does exfoliate.
Yeah.
But it felt really good afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
And it has it has oils in it again. So oils. So the point is it has coconut oil in it, which is it that my assumption is it's fractionated coconut.
Yeah.
So that's always good. And so that would go well on your skin. And then what's the other ingredients?
Brown sugar.
Nice.
And I have the amber essential oil and the vanilla oleo resin essential oil that I use in the one, and the other one is black cherry merlot fragrance oil.
Nice. And so it has like a kind of a wine. Well, that merlot is a wine, right? So it has that kind of cherryish wine smell.
Yes.
one for 10 here on scrubs and things for women. Can you tell that I don't? Well, you know what? I buy these things like masks. I buy them, and then all I do actually, I go to the counter at one of those big box stores where they sell stuff like that.
Like Sephora?
Yeah, that's the place. So Bed Bath & Beyond or the other Ulta.
Oh.
And I say, hey, here's a list of things that I got for my wife that she told me to buy, and here you go. And so I think she does face masks and apparently and the thing that explodes in your bath.
I mean, but Andy, you have 4 sisters. How do you not know these things?
Oh, I know. Isn't that horrible?
5 sisters now, but
I was
4.
yes, exactly. But you know what it is that I didn't pay attention to that stuff until recently, and I at least got I did get a pedicure.
Oh, you like the pedicure?
It was definitely different. I didn't enjoy the hot rock thing because I felt that the hot rocks were too hot.
Okay.
Like I felt, I was like, why is anybody enjoying this part of the experience if it's just hot rocks on your, not fun. But Ulta is a cool place. So Tyson says that's a cool place. I like to go, and I tried to find, what's really interesting? I tried to go find beard oil there once.
Really?
And that was not a good experience. It looked
This was the best conversation.
Oh my God.
Can we back up really quick? Yes, Ulta has its place.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have healthy organic stuff all the time. It's very hard to find, which is why you should go to people who do that, like the people that you interview.
Yes.
Actually, this way.
Like Danielle, who is actually really good at this stuff and probably does it for a living and stuff. Yeah.
Right. But I'm not, I get why people go to Ulta, but also I feel like there's better products out there that they are not offering.
Well, and that's the whole point of why people go to these other places. So my experience with Ulta was I went in, looked at the stuff and go, this looks like junk. And then walked right back out because I was looking for hey, I'm going to do this whole big box series of, I'm going to try things at different big box stores and then see if they're good or not. Once I started seeing the ingredients that were actually in just the beard oil stuff, that made me walk right just back out, other than the fact that I got a list once of here, I want this stuff. So you're selling these scrubs, these scrubs and
that don't explode and are not colorful.
And they're not colorful, and those are bath bombs, as I was told.
Yeah.
But you are making those though. It's just not right now.
Right, right. I put a hold on those for right now.
Okay. Good. I knew something exploded in a bath. I wasn't quite sure what it was, but I knew something that went in the bath and then it made colors and it was pretty and it smelled nice. And you should buy them from Danielle because she's making them with better products than what you can buy at Ulta.
And we want to help support small businesses.
That's the biggest thing. So right now in this time, and I know that what your model has turned into is that as you get orders, you're processing them. How is that working for you? You can't really, is it lucrative enough? Are you doing pretty well order-wise?
Oh my God. Actually, now that I have my order, I did get my order in. I'm going to start mass producing again because I have gotten so many orders in the last 2 weeks. I almost couldn't even keep up with them.
That's great.
Yes.
That's like that's like a problem you want to have, right?
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Like it's like you could have the reverse problem where everybody just dropped dead. But what I've also noticed is that Danielle has been involved with a lot of these beard companies lately. I've seen your face all over. I saw you at Beard Therapy. I saw you with Kyle and Joe.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. And, that is really, really awesome. Now I take it the uptake in orders is going based off of some of your historical stuff, or are they just kind of all over the place? I like your newer line a lot. Not that I didn't like the old one, but I like the newer line. I like the butter a lot.
Yeah, and that's been a lot of what I've been selling, the butter, but the balm, the newer scents, custom scents. I actually just sent out a custom scent. I don't want to say what it is yet until he gets it and he comes up with a name. But yeah,
Can we say who this person is?
If I could get on my Instagram, I would. I don't remember.
Gotcha.
And I so apologize if you were watching this right now.
It's all good. It's all good. So what I'm going to say is that the butters, and I have bragged to people about these butters. These are exceptional butters. And I don't know, I've had butters where they're good, but this one like melts in your, like as soon as you put it in your hand, it melts. And Caden's like, that stuff is so good that he wanted to put it on his hands all day.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, it was really good. And he gets really dry hands. We live in Arizona, and he doesn't do it as much, but he used to like go for like this crazy washing thing where he would just wash his hands to where they cracked.
Oh,
and I would say that if we get that butter is so good for your hands, and I can feel it like in my hands all day long. I just put some on because I like the smell of it. But I'll tell you that put in beard, it's a game changer. This butter is a game changer. I think that there's a few companies that have done their research really well, and you're one of them. Another one is BAM. I think that you guys know Jolly Old Fat Man's brand as well.
Yeah.
Those are just amazing products, and I can tell that the research that goes into them is immense because that is not like any other butter I've tried.
I'm actually looking at your website right now, which can you tell everybody if they don't know what your website is so they can find you?
Yes, absolutely. It is www.hummingbeardco.com.
Love it. Thank you. Yeah, I'm looking at like it sucks. We don't have a bathtub anymore where we live. We just have showers. But I'm totally want to buy all of this. Like I want.
Do you want the exploding thing in your bath? Possibly.
Maybe. Well, maybe it'll explode in my shower.
Could you put it on your feet and then it explodes in your like tub?
Yeah, I'll make a tub out of my sink.
That's right.
But I'm already like purchasing some stuff. Just that's why I'm quiet over here.
Yeah, because her stuff. Now, the other thing is that, so you're doing some custom scents. Now, the custom scents that you're doing, do you get to, the person who's ordering, do they just get to Do they DM you? How do they do these custom scents?
Yeah, most of them have DM'd me, and how I do my custom scent, and I've had this question asked so many times. I do not charge anything additional for custom scents.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Sometimes if I don't have what you're looking for, I will search, I will buy it. I do send out, actually, I finally, which I'm kind of excited about. I have switched over to black. So I have my little half ounce, and I have a half ounce tin.
Cool.
So what I do with the custom scents is I make the customs, I make enough just for, the half ounce, and I send it to the customer free of charge. And when they get it, they either give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, let me know if I need to change anything in it. I kind of fix it if I have to, which I actually honestly haven't had to do yet, but I will fix it if I have to. And I do ask them to name it as well.
That is ultra cool. So they're actually, some of the communities is actually giving away like some scent ideas.
Yeah.
Now when you test them and somebody says, "Hey, I want this custom scent." Now, what dictate? Is there any like formal thing that like, "Hey, that will never work"? If somebody gives in like, "Hey, I want to try this and this motor oil and some."
Okay, I will actually tell you, and if this person is on here, I am not saying anything bad at all, but I actually did have someone ask me to do the the maple bacon and Lucifer.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So, well, that's going to be my next project. I'll see how that goes.
Now, do you do like a little bit of like, do you do a little bit of research on the scent to make sure it like matches, or you're just like, "Hey, dude, if that's what you want, dude," or
I
you just
usually,
say, like, "No way, that's not going to work at all. It smells horrid."
well, I haven't run into anything yet that has just been horrible. I'm a little concerned about this maple bacon Lucifer, though. I am a little concerned about that one. Although,
isn't it anything with bacon is just wonderful? Is that this, except for bacon beer? Don't do bacon beer, but
yeah, no.
Wait, bacon and beer?
Okay, so yeah, like about, I would say probably 7 years ago, some guy came around with bacon beer, and this is when I was drinking, and it was the worst beer I've ever had in my life.
It was like flavored beer.
Yeah, it was like, "Hey, these two things should not be put together ever." And yeah,
my favorite is in downtown Phoenix. They had this bougie little craft beer place, and you could have samples, and one of them was farm beer. And I was like, "What?" Like, and it tasted like crap. Like I was drinking crap. And they were like, I was like, "What is this?" And they're like, "Oh, we ferment, like we make the beer around like shit, like cow shit, manure." And I was like, "I don't why."
No.
And it did. It tasted like manure. It was gross. And they're like, "But it's farm infused."
It's farm. That's horrid. There's some things that just has. Now that'd be an interesting scent profile right there. "Hey, I would like some manure smelling because I work on a farm."
Well, back in the 90s, Gap did a line that was like one was grass, so you could smell like grass.
I've seen companies do the grass thing. There's a company that I know right now that's creating a grass scent.
I mean, we're
It's one of
giving
their-
you some ones, Danielle. You can
Yeah.
take all of these.
Now, this is my question for you, Danielle. So that means you're going into a little bit of the fragrance oils, which you kind of already are. So, but that means you'd have to find a fragrance oil that kind of matches up with. How do they sell that? I've never gone. I only look at essential oils, and that's the only thing I've ever bought. So, is there like a catalog of like all of the scents for fragrance oils that you could like out of one company? Just go, hey, they sell bacon, they sell ham, they sell they sell an egg smell.
Oh my god. Yeah, well, I do some research, and the one company that I do use, they have some very, very, very interesting scents.
What's the most interesting you've seen so far, other than bacon?
Oh my gosh.
Vomit. Is there a vomit?
Yeah.
Candies that are like vomit.
Yeah,
Jelly bellies. Oh.
Actually, one time I was just kind of curious about Amazon, so I did look, and I want to say there was something on Amazon that was like that, and I'm like, that's disgusting.
Yeah, that's horrid. That's horrid. Have you guys ever played that game, Bamboozled? I will not play that game anymore. Like, even at a team, we've had team events where it's like Bamboozled. Oh no, I'm gonna be really not here and be a member of this team today, because Bamboozled is the worst game ever.
Yeah.
The only point of it is to eat gross things, and I always end up with like rotten salmon or boogers or something. Yeah. Have you ever played that game?
Dad used to make you eat weird cheese, remember?
So this is my funny dad story, and I don't know where he bought this, but for some reason he was going through this health kick, and we went to the swap meet in Phoenix. Do you remember this? You have to remember this.
Yeah.
He bought this bottle of stuff that had like it was supposedly had like all of the elements in it. Like the entire periodic chemistry chart, it was in this bottle. And he's like, he's taking shots of this stuff at night because it was told to him by the guy at the swap meet that this was going to be the next thing that he needs to buy, and it will clear up all health problems. He didn't buy it again, that's for sure.
Did you drink it?
No, I didn't drink it. I just watched him drink it.
No, Dad used to always make me eat weird stuff. Be like, "Daddy, try this. It's like good cheese," and it was like English Stilton.
That's right.
Oh my god.
Have you ever had that, Danielle? Have you ever had English Stilton? Now, there is a certain amount of people in this world that think it is definitely an acquired taste of some sort. My parents thought that they would bring it back as a delicacy for Andy as a sample, because my dad had actually been duped into, he's a sample guy. So if you go to Costco, you go to Fry's, and there's some free samples, he's eating them. So he got an opportunity to try this right out of the grocery store. And
brought it home for you to try.
Yeah. So this is the kicker, that my mom got in on it. And so she put it on a piece of cheese, and they were all like, "Oh, you should savor this cheese. It's so wonderful. It's such high end, Andy. You should savor it." So I put it in my mouth, and they're all just looking at me. And I knew something was wrong at the moment of everybody just staring at me for about a minute.
Sorry, my cat wants to say hi.
Hi.
Hello, cat. We love cats. So anyway, this English Stilton is in my mouth, and you at that point cannot spit it out. It's just like on your tongue. The savoring part was like, you had to get just like, it felt like that time where you're just like, I need to go find some carpet to wipe my tongue on.
Yeah. Maybe you can make that out of English Stilton.
Or the fact that they gave me like, what's that grass that they put in drinks?
Wheatgrass.
Wheatgrass. Yeah. Dad gave me a like a full smoothie full of grass. And that was like when I was an adult. And you'll eat it. So anyway, Danielle, so let's go back to your products. So you've been doing pretty well. The sales have been going really well, which is awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. And I think that can you talk about your butter? Because I think it's one of the best in the market. What is it that your product line, what are you putting in there that makes it like melt down the way it does? I mean, it is just absolutely amazing. We talked a little bit about using some different butters that most don't use.
In the butters, I usually put, well, lately, actually, I've been using jojoba oil, coconut oil, grapeseed oil, perilla seed oil, and if I'm pronouncing this right, babasu oil. And then I'll use shea, cocoa, mango, and pumpkin seed butters.
Cool.
That's cool. So Mr. Purposely Bearded is asking, do you have a scent that is light and is perfect right time scent? Nighttime scent. Sorry. I was like, what is that? Doesn't make any sense.
I think the Oasis is pretty light and good for night.
That's awesome. So I still thought this was a good nighttime scent. I usually do butters at night.
What is it? The tufted croquet?
Yeah. But I was like, is it croquet or is it croquettes?
Crockett?
Trying to be French.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just some type of hummingbird. So
I know. That's what I love about these products. I was like, and so then I go look it up and I'm like, hey, there's that hummingbird that I was just looking up. I'm wearing that hummingbird today.
Is that the one you have, Andy?
Yes, and I absolutely love it. And she said that she's just made another one. So prior to the newest, maybe there was the last one you just released last week that was similar, but it had some different scent profiles. And what was that?
Yeah, I think that was the Oasis.
That's the Oasis. Nice.
Yeah. That's lemon, sweet orange, grapefruit, and just a hint of mint.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah.
I'm a mint. I really like citrus a lot, and we just planted some mint the other day, and I had forgot how much I like the smell of mint. And so we go out in the back, and we're like just loving that mint. It's a really great smell. There's Mr. Dan C. He's on. So Dan is one of my friends. He's another reviewer, and he's awesome. He is doing a couple of live streams here and there as well. So have you guys tried the where was I going with this? I saw Dan and then I'm like, oh no, I got all flustered. So Dan is like one of the premier, just to let Nikki know, he's one of the best reviewers out there in the game right now for the beard products, and he's just awesome guy. So I was sitting there thinking, oh, cool. And he's given me so many hints on doing my channel. I don't know if most bearded guys in here. Yeah, so he's one of those guys that he's been able to help me kind of lift my game on my beard channel, which is important to me, of course. So I've been doing a lot of different things to change it up. I started doing reviews, which is what Danielle had the other day. You were like my second real review where I didn't just do a bunch of unboxings. I was just doing unboxings and then doing those IG things where I was like doing some fun videos with them on TikTok and then transporting to Instagram. But now I'm starting to get more serious with the reviews where I give some feedback on your product lines and things like that. It's been going pretty good. So anyway, so the new product is amazingly citrus with mint and with this awesome butter. And what else is on you have another one that's going out and another scent that's coming out soon. And it sounds like you have how many more scents do you have in the background just hanging?
Several.
I love it. Love it.
Yeah, there's actually quite a few. I have several that are going to international.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
exciting.
which right now I kind of had to put a halt on sending those because of everything going on. Uh,
Oh,
yeah, I know. I'm really excited for one of them. I'm really excited. Well, I'm excited for them all, but I have been looking forward to one of them for a while.
That's cool. That's cool. So, what countries are these going to?
Um, I have one going, which will be my very first going to Switzerland.
Oh, wow.
ooh.
Yeah, I've been working with Min Min. Uh, I think I can't remember his whole ID name, but I've been kind of working with him. And then Mr. Neil Jones is getting, that's the one that I'm really excited about. Um, but he wanted me to come up with a scent, and I'm excited about it.
That is ultra, ultra cool. Go ahead, Nicole.
Oh, no, I just said that's exciting.
That is really exciting. I mean, do you know what's really kind of cool? And it is really cool, is the fact that when we first started talking, I think you've had one review with one guy. You were, your website was still really good. But you've upped your game on the website. You've upped your game on the website. I love the fact that you can hover over things now and you can see things pop up. Other folks don't have that. And then you're also starting to hit that outside of, just the domestic places. And that's awesome because that means that, Danielle's becoming big time. And I'm going to be like, hey, I knew her back when she was just selling to a couple people like myself.
I'll give you my autograph. You were my first YouTube.
That's right.
You were really nervous about it.
Yeah, do you remember that? Now she's done like 5 or 6, and
yeah. I was definitely very nervous.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. Do you know what's really fun about it is that I love watching companies grow, and there's a couple companies like yourself that you're just excited because you like them as people and you want them to take off.
Mm-hmm.
And you become friends with them. And Danielle, I'll just hit her up and say, hey, what's going on? I won't even talk about beard stuff. I'll just be like, hey, what's going on? But I think that the cool thing about it is that when you see them developing as a creator of products, and I think that creation is awesome. This is an art form to me. And that's what's so cool about it. But now that you're getting bigger, do you have some ideas about how you can expand into, making more so it's not just you doing it yourself?
No, not really.
Not there yet.
No. I mean, I enjoy doing it because, of course, right now, unfortunately, for the past 2 months, I have been unable to work due to medical issues. So right now, it's been keeping me busy, keeping me occupied, keeping me somewhat sane.
Yeah, well, that's a big thing is you know what? And I take a look at what is sanity right now. I mean, it's just crazy. It is. This is a very interesting time that we live in, and keeping your wits about you. I know that I just got told that I'm going to be at home again for another month.
You did?
Yeah. And so,
Wow.
and we had a significant layoff, or furlough.
I was gonna say furlough. Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So, but it was a significant amount. So, and it's one of those things that's scary because you don't know what's going to go on. I'll be honest with you, get stir crazy just sitting in your house all day. Yeah. And so I've taken to the videography piece where I'm like, I want to make video. I want to be a better videographer. I want to be able to make fun, like these YouTube live streams. I would, I like them, but I would get real serious about them, and I want to kind of conform them to kind of more of a fun thing to do, where it's entertaining as well as informative. Like I'll talk about bath bombs that
body scrub that explodes.
Body scrubs or bath bombs, something that explodes in bathtubs, and the other thing is for exfoliating now. But Dan brings up a good point, and I think that he's been in the game. I think he was in maybe 6 or 7 months earlier than I was, maybe a year. And he's gone up with some companies too. And I think one of the ones that I can think of is like Beard Octane, and great company. But it's when it's the companies that you've like I saw some companies coming in. Now, when I first started, I think you were one of the first companies that I actually had reviewed and said, hey, I really want to do a review with you and do unboxing. And I kind of had figured out that I want to do something more than just taking in products and taking pictures of them. So and it's a really cool experience to kind of grow up with a company. I think that's a cool thing. And Dan kind of pointed that out. Now, the other thing is that, so with fragrance oils and I think when we talk about fragrance oils, there's a whole market of these things. And there is some concern from people that sometimes, because they don't have the all natural label on them, that they don't want to buy them. I don't get that. I don't understand it completely. Nikki, have you ever done any research, or Danielle, have you done any research on what fragrance oils are? Is there any danger or worry about some of these fragrance oils? Because I don't know. I don't know enough about them. I know a lot about essential oils, but I've done some research on fragrance oils, and I don't think that there definitely isn't anything going wrong with them. But is there any concern health-wise for anything like that?
Honestly, I wouldn't have any. I mean, just like with essential oils, there is always that chance of, skin irritation, but that's going to happen. It can happen to anybody, and it can happen with anything. I mean, really, even some people specifically have asked me not to use soy butter in their product because they can't use soy butter. Mm-hmm. That's fine. So I think anything you're going to have, just take precaution because of that skin irritation. But other than that, I mean, the ones that I use, of course, you see the ones for candles, I try to stick with ones just specifically for cosmetics and, soaps.
I love that. And the reason why I brought that up was because I know the next point is that you do this research, and I want people to be aware that there is excellent companies doing research, and we've talked about it, and it takes you about 6 months before a product really rolls out in your system for you to say, hey, I tried this out. It's good for your skin. I've tried it out on myself, and maybe some other testers. I think that's awesome. And I think that research, that quality assurance type piece, is something that you can be rest assured with your products and your company.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like also it's important to talk, like, fragrance it's both natural and laboratory made, right? So with laboratory made and natural, there's FDA rules, and some of them are making it seem bigger than they are, and some of them aren't justifying enough of it. So, like, you can have a very small amount of this really bad product, but in a sample that's smaller isn't going to affect you like something bigger.
Right.
So, like, your skin isn't going to get irritated with 0.001% of some bad chemical, but it will if you're buying in bulk in something bigger, like a deodorant stick or, Yeah.
Now, I am going to say this, that I put out my Andy's deodorant thing. Oh, before I go, let me tell you that Mr. Black Creek Grooming Company has given you the biggest kudos. I love that.
Yeah. And I am so excited to get some products made for him because they are going in his store.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Isn't
Yes,
that
I
cool?
am super stoked about that.
That's
That is
exciting.
Danielle, we're gonna say we knew you back when, and then we are gonna try to get autographs. But that is so cool, and that's the way, honestly. But that you're gonna have, you're gonna run into that. I'm just letting you know you're gonna run into this problem where you're gonna have to figure out. You're gonna have to enlist an army of people to help you create, put these packaging together and things like that. You're gonna have like a warehouse. One day we'll just be like talking to her from her warehouse. Oh yeah, I'm too busy for my stream because I have a warehouse full of products going out.
Yeah. No, I definitely will keep it small.
Is that your goal? Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to. I mean, I'd rather be one of the small companies that and I can produce it quick enough, especially with not working right now.
Nice. Now, what your full-time gig is? What do you do for full-time?
I am an assistant store manager.
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool.
What part of Tennessee are you in again?
I'm in East
Tennessee. Okay.
Yeah.
All I think about is that song Tennessee. Every time I hear Tennessee.
Which one?
I don't know, the one that just kept singing Tennessee over and over
Oh
again.
yeah, that's gosh, what's their names?
Fugees?
No.
No.
Definitely not Fugees.
Yeah, but you know who I'm talking about. It's like a 90s song.
It is. Hold on.
Yeah, so now you're gonna have to Google it because I've leave it out there. So the other thing that I thought was really cool was that
Arrested Development. Sorry.
Who is it?
Arrested Development.
Yes, there we go. See, those are the people that people that know your music. That's who you have to hang with. People who can just say, "Oh yeah, I know that." So the other question I have for you is, so now that you're going international, do you have to pay? Is there like something that you have to do that goes with their regulations? Do you have to do something regulation-wise to conform to like EU regulations of some sort?
Yeah, I have been doing research on that, and stop! Oh my God, my child is gonna get beat. Oh my God.
Regulation-wise to conform to like EU regulations of some sort.
Oh my God, sorry. They're gonna
It's all good. She's all like, "Hey, stop that guy from talking."
I don't know. She will not come on video with me, but she wants to sit here.
And like stare at you.
Yeah.
Like a cat? Yeah, I have kids that want to constantly come in and just say, "Hey, do you see me?" And then I have Caden will come in and just like wave at me because he wants to be in the stream so bad.
Well, last time it was like he wanted to tell you he did his homework. I was like,
Yeah, hi, I want to, Dad, give me some attention. I want some attention now. It's time.
Yeah, I think I got her when I was on with Kyle and Joe. I got her one time.
oh.
Yeah.
By the way, amazing T-shirt that you're wearing. It's a good.
Oh
band.
yeah. Thank you.
It's got Wyland stories, but I won't tell them on there. I don't do that.
So you've had to research into the EU stuff, and there definitely is some weird regulations that are very different than what domestic is. And I even think Canada is the same way, right? There's some Canadian rules that are a little different.
Yeah, they are. And I do. Sorry. I do the research and I do everything that I need to. Now, one other thing that I will start doing is also, I know a lot of companies don't do it. I didn't do it. But one other thing I will start doing is putting batch numbers on, which is actually very important. So anybody else doing, making your products, make sure you put batch numbers on them.
Oh, that's cool. That's a great idea. Now,
idea.
batch numbers keeps now. Do you have to do some quality control with that? So where you like take samples, or you have to do some sort of, because I know in the restaurant industry, we always had to have like little petri dishes of samples of things that while we were making the batches of food. And you had to keep them for a certain amount of time for FDA reasons or something. I can't remember what the restaurant rule was behind it.
Yeah, it's a little different, of course, because it's a cosmetic. It's not, so it is a little bit different. But yeah, there's some special things I have to do.
That's good.
And honestly, a lot of companies, I know a lot of U.S. companies don't do it. And I know this because I've had a lot of them come to me after Wild Hair UK made one of his posts about calling out companies, and well, we'll just leave it there.
Really. So, and they were just calling out companies saying that they weren't doing what they should.
He said he would, but now one thing that he didn't, I don't think some people overseas understand, because he's in the UK. UK has a lot more strict rules than we do here in the US.
They do.
I personally got offended because he tagged me I was the only US company tagged in that.
Wow.
So yeah, it did kind of upset me a little bit that he did that, with everybody else being in the UK that he tagged. And yeah, so now I have, a lot of US companies DMing me, asking me about it, which is fine. I have absolutely no problem. But, they're asking me how I went about doing it, what the process was, whatever. And that's fine. I have absolutely no, but I just didn't like being called out like that. Especially when I was obviously the only US company he has actually reviewed who went by their standards, their protocol.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So yeah, I did get a little offended.
Yeah.
And I think it was because I was a female.
Really? Oh, yeah. See, and that's too bad.
Yeah, it is.
Too bad. My experience with, I have had a lot of experience with I haven't had a ton, but I used to live in England. So I definitely know that there's definitely some different rules on many different things, levels.
Yeah.
My experience with a few of the overseas companies that I have received, that there was a lot of research and a lot of documentation that had to be done before they could send it out. Mm-hmm. I did think that the British companies that I have tried, they had the scent-wise, you would say this didn't last as long like American companies. Like, I'm used to these scents that last 6 to 8 hours. There's a couple of they're great oils. Don't get me wrong, great oils. But what somebody told me is they can't put a lot of the stuff that makes them last long because the EU will prevent them from sending it out.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and
I mean that's what Canada is too. Like,
yeah.
I ship some stuff because my husband's mother also makes her own products, and they're beautiful. They're amazing products. And we shipped some from Canada to our place in Nashville, and it wasn't coming to us for some reason. And it kept like circling from like Knoxville to Nashville, and then finally we got it, and it was like all broken, and they had taken out all the lotions, and they were just like, they're like, oh, we don't know what happened, but it was saying something on it about just like not like, we didn't actually say like what was in it properly, and then so that go through it and see what was going on with it. I don't know, or maybe they thought it was drugs. I have no idea, but I was like really sad because it was like
on those custom forms you have to be specific.
Yeah, they were. I mean, yeah. I wasn't really thinking when I was shipping that I needed to like really be good with customs as well as they needed me to be.
Yeah. The very first time I shipped overseas, I ran into the same thing, and the lady at the post office is like, "Okay, so you said that the item's totaled this way, but really it's this way," and I'm like, "Well, I didn't put the weight of the box or anything in it, I mean, stuff like that.
It is very specific.
It is, yeah. I have some issues shipping in the US because I sell candles on Etsy, and Etsy will say one thing and then the post office will say the other. So sometimes I'll get things back being like, oh, it didn't have enough money on it, or this, just weird things like that with postal stuff within our own country. But I feel like Etsy is hard too if you're shipping internationally that way. You have to be really careful.
That's interesting, and that's good to know. That's good information. I'm sorry you got singled out, Danielle, but that's
maybe you also just thought you were really awesome and then didn't realize that it was going to cause so much commotion for you.
No. I had another bout with him per se. Yeah, and it was, I mean, just something as stupid as my labels. When it was first unboxed and a picture was taken, nothing had leaked. You could see all the labels were fine and everything, but then he came to me and said, something about the labels, or actually, no, he made another post, publicly made another post pointing out the labels, and it now had oil all over it. So it was like, that kind of seemed to be intentional, but it is what it is. I
like with reviews though, like, I mean, so I'm a publicist. I have to get albums reviewed all the time. I just feel like if you don't like the album or the product, or you're upset about something, don't post anything. Just like move on to something you like. Why do we have to like shove these negative things out there?
Right. Or
they just email you and be like, hey, next time maybe you want to do this.
Right. And I have absolutely no problem. And a lot of the personal notes I send, hey, feedback, good or bad, is welcome. Yeah. I mean, I want the bad, I want the criticism, good and bad. I really do. So this way I know what I can improve. Right. And, but I mean, just to be pointed out publicly like that was just, it was, I mean, I know it was just kind of crappy.
Yeah.
Now I have to say that I do try to be honest with my reviews, and if I see something that could, like, it's never big things. It's always like small things. Like, I think with yours, I said your labels, if they get wet, they run. That was it. That was the extent of my negative. The only negative that I found with your products was that was it. And I was like, and that's nothing. That's nothing to me. That's like, yes, that's what happened. And that's the only feedback that I could give that was like anything, because otherwise it was just amazing. So, try to find something that's going to be, to me, I just try to say, hey, there is something that you could work on and change. And that's it. That's all I could come, like you try to come up with something that's constructive criticism. And even in reviews, I try to.
You did it differently. So, I mean, I didn't get offended by yours. And I do know, simply because I've spilt some stuff before,
right.
Oops, accident. I knocked something over and now the label, crap, I can't send it out like that. So now I'm having to start all over again, but,
right.
I actually did just purchase, because I make my own labels.
Right.
I mean, just about everything I do is, I mean, I make them. I don't have them ordered and made for me. I literally sit at my computer and my printer and I make my labels.
Mm-hmm.
I design them. I mean, everything. But I did recently, and I'm waiting on
them to come in because I wanted to use my old labels first because I had ordered just a ton of them. But I did order weatherproof, so they should be better.
Good. And you know what? Those are minor cosmetic things to me.
Yeah.
And those are always things that if there's anything that I can give feedback on that will up your game, that's what I'm willing to, that's what I do. If it's major problems with products, I will not talk about it. I will talk about it to the owner, and I will say, hey, something didn't work well with me. And then I'll leave it at that because I know a lot of times, like my thing is cinnamon, and I've had several products now that had cinnamon in them, and my skin reacts to it. And I know it's nothing to do with the product. I know it's something to do with me.
Interesting.
And so I tested it out. Like I got another, the first time was with one company and I brought it up. I said, something reacted. What do you think it is? And then we kind of went through the product list. And then I started actually going down and I tested it to see if I had that same reaction with it was with cinnamon. And I could tell immediately. My son saw like the same thing. I'm just like, oh my goodness, how do I get allergic to cinnamon? I love the smell of cinnamon, but my skin does not like it at all. And I don't know. What's really weird is I thought fragrance oil doesn't have actual cinnamon in it, so it shouldn't be anything to do with that. But something with it had that reaction. I don't know what it was. Very odd, but I knew that was only to do with me. So then I will give that feedback and say, that was it. Just like the guy with soy for you who said, I can only deal with soy. That's nothing to do with your products. It's saying that I can't take that product. And that's a completely different way. And I don't think that you should broadcast that as a negative thing because your skin didn't react well to that. Right. I don't think that's fair. I don't think it's fair to somebody when you know that everything else in their product line worked just perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And that was, and I've run into that a couple times where, I did have one product that went rancid on me. And it was with a bigger company. And I had bought, the problem was I bought this lotion maybe about 3 months prior. And it was from Christy. And it went, by the time it got to her birthday, because I bought it, it went bad.
Oh.
Yeah. And but I don't know, that's one of those, I'm using all natural products, waiting around 3 months with all natural products, probably not a good thing. Either that or the preservatives. I was told later that the preservatives probably weren't there.
I don't think so.
It was never opened. It should have been.
No, it should have been fine.
Still, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, once you open it, I would say you have a certain time it should be used in, time frame. But yeah, if it wasn't open, it shouldn't have been rancid like that.
Yeah.
Well, like who's going to use a whole thing of lotion in 3 months?
Right.
Right. And that was what I was thinking. So it was, and I never broadcasted that and that was when I first started. And I was like, I was kind of scared to say, I'll be honest with you. I had a hard time telling you about your labels, to be honest with you, on a review, because normally I love the product so much. And I usually, most of the companies that I try, I don't think I've ever gone over to go get a dog product. Somebody will suggest a company and I'll be like, hey, I'm all over that. And then I'll try them and they're great. So, but it's really hard for me as a positive. I try to be very positive about myself. It's hard for me to give feedback, but I think that, I had a Kuhn product said there's a way of giving feedback, even in a review that's still respectable. It still has respect in it for the person that made this product. And that was what he told me. I gave a product review yesterday where I said, the product's great, but I thought the 10 was a little flimsy, and he said, yeah, we're definitely working on that. So, but I'll tell you, it goes against me to go and tell people anything negative at all. I don't get where some people just get off. I know that there was this time in the beard product review where these guys were like, just wanted to get slamming products, like products they could slam. Just to get, I don't know if it was like a thing to be like, hey, look, I'm slamming these products and that's a good thing. it gives me more views, because I'm slamming products. But to me, that's just pointless. I don't want to. I'm not going to go out of my way to go buy some, especially with my own money. I'd actually like to promote people and be very positive, and that's when I go after companies, that's what I'm looking for. So just to let you know, this guy's just a jerk. So, but you already knew that.
Pretty much.
Andy's tangent. Sometimes I catch myself turning into my dad. Like I'll go off on this tangent about, hey, let me tell you how the world should be.
Oh, I mean, I listen to it every day. Like I have to email people all day, every day. I'm just emailing. And if I accidentally, oh no, we lost her.
Yeah, we did. She's like, hey, I'm having had enough of you guys.
Yeah, I'll get some jerks who are like, you didn't spell my name right. I'm like,
sorry, I'm back.
All good.
Back. She was like, I can't handle this Andy talk anymore. It's done. He doesn't know what bath bombs are. He doesn't even know what a scrub is.
Was there something happening tonight, by the way?
What?
Was there an unveiling or?
There is a giveaway that we are going to do, and the people that have been lucky enough, and I have to leave here in a bit anyway. So we are, you know what? I did this on purpose. So there's 9 people in here. We are going to go and do a fun fact, and then Danielle is going to ask the question.
Yeah.
So you can Google it. You can do anything. And what product are you giving away, Danielle? Let us know.
It will actually be the Cool Ice. It will be a 2-ounce balm. Ooh. And I actually upped the 1 ounce to a 2-ounce oil.
Yay.
And hang on.
And there's more.
Yeah. Your choice of hat.
Those are so cute.
There's green. There's a turquoise. A plain gray.
Ooh, I like that one a lot.
My newest one, well, the gray is new, kind of new too, but my newest one is this black and red.
Oh, that is nice. Very nice.
Yeah. And then I did not get these done yet, but I do have just a plain black, a sky blue, and a just plain navy blue.
Nice.
Those are not finished yet, though.
That is still pretty cool, Danielle. So anybody who is hanging around with me, we had about 15 people at one time, and I know that's I was like, you know what? I'm going to hang until the end because I want people to hang around who really want to be on my show and listen to Danielle as well. So fans, real fans. So what is your question, Danielle? Yeah, fans of the channel, fans of Danielle, whoever is out there, we have an opportunity to win all of this wonderful merch. I'm the Vanna White. I wish I had like a little thing. Ooh.
I know. I'm like, wait.
Ooh.
What is happening?
It's amazing stuff. So again, her products are absolutely amazing. The Black Ice is a fairly new product line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Black Ice is the one that I have in my car. So I'm excited to have people
take that out of your car soon.
Say about this. Yeah.
It's gonna mess, Sandy. Take that out of your car soon.
I know. I'm gonna have to just like, hey. So this is my question: what is your question, Danielle? What is your question for all of this wonderful giveaway stuff?
Okay, my question is, how many documented caves are in Tennessee?
Ooh.
Fun fact.
Yeah,
maybe
Google it up. Google it up, and only the real Tennessee fans are going to be able to get this one.
Don't feel bad because I had to Google myself.
So, have any answers?
Do we have any answers? Are anybody even listening anymore?
You may have lost them way back with the exploding
bomb. Well, the people were coming in, and then they were like, I don't want to hear about this guy talking. There's 9 people sitting out in the audience.
They're just slow typers.
They're Googling this. Somebody's Googling this. Somebody out there is just Googling this. Because they're like, why didn't he do the 1 through 15 thing? Uh-oh. Jeff Rice is saying 10,000.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, who got it first? We have somebody said
winner?
6. One person said 6. There's 6 caves.
There's 10,000.
There is 10,000. And from my little perspective, who is the first person on my 10,000 list? It is Mr. Black Creek Grooming Company. Guessed 10K. He is the first on my screen. Which I'm looking to see if there's anybody else. Yep, no, it was Mr. Black Creek. Got his answer, but everybody else was right below it, other than Mr. 6. So apparently 6 was not the answer, but 10,000 is. Thank you very much, Mr. Black Creek Grooming Company. And contact Miss Danielle. Thank you very much, Mr. Black Creek Company. I never like hearing my voice back. I usually watch my videos.
I wanted to make sure you were okay. I know how amazing of eyesight you have.
I know. Yeah, did you double check for me?
I mean, you announced a winner.
I did, but I think I was right. So I'm
not
that blind. Yeah, for sure.
And then it was Jeff Rice right there.
Jeff Rice was it, and then Southwest Center.
Oh, Bo said he missed the question.
Okay, hang on.
Bearded Hillbilly, he got it too.
Black Creek
said give it to the next guy.
Yeah, I was gonna say he just sent me an Instagram message saying to give it to Jeff.
Jeff Rice.
Jeff Rice, yes.
But now, hang on.
Oh,
okay.
How many people were there? I can't see. My eyesight is probably as good as anybody's. He missed that.
There is 8 people. Yeah, I know. Did you get into the screen well enough? There was about 8 people, 9 people when we did the giveaway, and I think only 5 or 6
people.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it's frozen now.
Oh, 7. Sorry, 7 people answered.
7 people.
7? Okay. Well, all those 7 people that answered, just go ahead and send me a message, and you will all get the black ice. How about that? The cool ice.
There you go.
That's so nice of you. Thank you.
That is very, very generous. Thank you so much.
All very lucky.
And we have the names of these lovely folks. Thank you guys. DM her. She is on Instagram as Hummingbeard.
All of it. All of the social media.
Yes, please do.
Yes.
And again, I think I'm trying to keep this fun and, talk about fun things as well. But this was awesome. Thank you for doing the giveaway, Danielle. It was very cool and very generous of you to do this. But I really appreciate your time. We'll touch base here, and I'll have you on again.
Yeah.
But because I always like to keep up with the companies that like yourself, that are just doing some fun, cool stuff. Now, when is your next? So we have Black Ice was recently. What's the name of that one?
That's the Cool Ice.
Cool Ice. So call it Cool Ice, guys. And you guys have all won. That is very cool. What is your next release is coming out in next? When's your next release? Your next set release.
Well, my next release will be after I hear if I get a thumbs up about this one I just sent out. That'll be my newest.
Cool.
Yeah.
Playing it by ear when that person gets back and says this is the best thing ever, and of course they will. Actually,
I did. I just lied. My next release is actually going to be oh my gosh. His name is Evan. I can't think of his. He lives in Pennsylvania, but I cannot think of his IG name right now. He actually had asked me to send him a scent. So that will actually, and I got the thumbs up from him.
So that will actually be my next new release.
So in the next couple of weeks, can you give us a scent profile? Can you give us is that all top secret still?
No, it's not top secret. If I can remember, it's frankincense and grapefruit.
Ooh.
Wow.
Frankincense.
Yeah.
I love frankincense and grapefruit. So that's awesome. That's actually sounds like a really good combination. Awesome.
And I forget what he named it, but he came up with the name. And of course, when I do release it, I will include all of that information.
Cool. Right on. Very good. Very good. So keep eyes on the website. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. I know that this was, it's always fun for me to hang out with Danielle and my sister, of course. So so that's what's going on this next week. Do you have anything else going on in the next week or two that's significant to you?
I will actually, no, I don't. Because of all this Corona stuff going on, I was actually supposed to make a trip up to New Jersey for my nephew's birthday. Of course I can't now. So no, I may take next week off anyway. And actually just concentrate on the products I am making for Mr. Justin over at Black Creek Grooming Company.
I'm excited about that. I am so excited about that. Danielle, well done. Well done.
Yeah.
Honestly. That's a good job. You've put a lot of blood and sweat into this and love, and that's the kind of payoff that you deserve. So awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so Nicole, what do you got going on? I know that you're always crazy busy. It's kind of the pandemic has kind of put a little thwart on your lifestyle, I'm sure.
Yeah, I usually like to be out and about, but taking a certification class that ends in June, probably going to apply for grad school.
Awesome.
We'll see. I don't know. It depends, because I love being a music publicist, but getting
some new
older.
Opportunities, maybe some new opportunities. What's your master?
I want to do counseling, so MFT program.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, counseling has been for the general public or for kids or at a school or?
I really enjoy grief counseling, and maybe for older people, and maybe like marriage therapy. I don't know. Couples counseling. We'll see.
I love that. And we've talked about that a little bit. That's awesome.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. It's nothing for sure. But because of coronavirus, it's kind of, makes you think about life and what you want to be doing. And is this making you happy what you're in right now? And can you keep going with it? Or, music industry is changing a lot again. I don't know how much more I can, it's kind of exhausting at times, but we'll see.
I bet.
Yeah.
Cool. Anybody who is still hanging out with us, I'm doing this again tomorrow with my reviewers table folks. So Joe, Chad, Scott, we're hanging tomorrow night, same time, same bat channel. Right. And I hope to see you guys
on here at some point, right?
What?
Hopefully we'll get Dad on here to do something.
I was thinking about that. I was going to go do it Wednesday or Thursday. And so maybe we'll talk tomorrow. And do like a lunchtime chat.
Okay.
Because, it'd be fun.
Very, very knowledgeable. If you're still listening, he's like a really good person to listen to about all ingredients and, health things.
He was a science teacher. So yeah, for sure. And we also have good stories because all of us were raised by this man. So. And some of us turned out better than others. That was crazy.
We're all the same. Good talking to you, Danielle, and thank you.
Yeah, thank you very, very much. We totally appreciate it. I am going to go eat some ATL wings now, and you guys wonderful, wonderful night. And thank you guys for coming. Subscribe to this channel because we will have more fun and more giveaways, more fun, more excitement, and more times where I don't know what that product is.
Yeah.
I'll just take a guess at it.
So good.
We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
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 Thank you, Dan.